When we come back, 3 generations of Canadian men world champions. Kurt Browning up against Elvis Stojko. Brian Orser of Canada, the first time they have ever competed in the same competition, but they will have to contend with American Todd Eldredge.
Monday night, TBS Superstation presents Olympic gold medalist Ekaterina Gordieva, silver medalist Brian Orser, and world medalist Vassur and Eisler. Vail Figure Skating Festival, Monday night at 8:05 Eastern, only on the Superstation.
We welcome you back to the Canadian Open. Hello, everybody. I'm Tracy Wilson, along with Rosalind Sumners and Peter Carruthers. A lot of excitement in this arena as the men are on the ice warming up for their short program. Rosalind, you can feel the energy in the building, the adrenaline. What role, if any, will that play on the men in the short program?
Oh, that plays a huge role. The momentum of emotion and excitement started to build yesterday in practices. I felt like I was sitting at an Olympic practice session. You felt the competitive edge. They're trying to outjump each other. And today, with the audience adrenaline, it's going to be so high. Everything's going to be much easier for the skaters. They have an extra amount of energy. They know it's a historic moment. And speaking of historic moment, Brian Orser is going to try the triple axel in the short program for the first time. He hasn't done it in a show or competition since 1988 Worlds. So great.
Okay, Peter, who's the favorite?
Okay, Tracy, you're asking me to make picks. Well, I think it's going to break down to this. The 2 pros against the 2 Olympic eligibles. Kurt Browning was last eligible in '94, and for Orser, he was eligible in '88. Can they handle the tough required elements, the big jumps that Stojko and Eldredge are used to doing? They are current. If they can do that, I think it'll be a good, solid match. The pros have the experience and the ego, but the eligibles have the current skating.
So it's a blend of old and new. Elvis Stojko, fresh off Olympic-style competition. Brian Orser, many years removed. Earlier today, Peter Carruthers had a chance to talk with both Elvis and Brian.
Okay, 2 of the best male skaters that have ever come out of Canada. And here, you guys are friends.
Absolutely. Training with Brian for a number of years, and it's exciting. I think this is the first time that we're competing against each other. This is pretty cool.
I've thought about that already, actually. It's just news to him, but I've already thought about that coming to this event. This is the first time we've competed against each other, which kind of feels a little strange because I grew up with him, or he grew up with me.
Yeah, go back to that. I mean, you trained together in the same rinks, same coach. What was it like when you saw Elvis hit the ice for the first time?
Well, he obviously had a lot of talent, you know, and from the very first time he came to work with Doug Lee and I, you know, he'd be tugging at my pant leg saying, "Can you watch my double flip? Or can you watch my triple salchow?" You know, and I'm getting ready for Olympics. But I took the time, and, you know, it was all good advice, and it was kind of fun to see him do so well later on.
What'd you learn from the master here?
Well, I tried not to bug him too much. I hope I wasn't the annoying little brat on the side of the rink. But, no, Brian always had such a great champion attitude. And I've learned so much technically as a person. Even now, Brian still represents his sport and the country to the fullest. And it's great to be associated and say, you know, I trained with Brian for a number of years, and I'm proud to say that because I've learned a lot from him.
How about the big guy doing triple axels out there today?
I know, it's good, you know, he's getting back into it and pushing it a little bit, which is excellent.
See, now it's my turn to go back to him and get some advice, you know. Can you watch my triple axel?
If anybody can help fine-tune the triple axel, it's Elvis Stojko. We'll have the men's short programs when we return. We welcome you back to the Canadian Open. The men getting ready now for their short program. And let's take a look at the order of skate. This was determined by a random draw. Kurt Browning will start things off, followed by Elvis Stojko of Canada, Stephen Cousins of Great Britain, and then winding things up, Todd Eldridge and Brian Orser. Peter, once again, this short program is worth a third of the total mark. Let's take a look at the elements.
A lot to do in just over 2 minutes. Men will do a double or a triple axel. They've got a triple or a quad jump, and that's what Stojko has planned, is the quad. And a double, triple, or triple jump combo, flying spin, camel or a sit spin, a combination spin, and 2 footwork sequences.
Practice yesterday was a little like the day before the Olympics. For Kurt Browning, those emotions were evident in the speed, jump attempts, and general demeanor of all of the men.
I don't know if everyone was serious, but I stepped on the ice today and I felt a lot of wind as a lot of guys were going. Elvis and Todd were just cutting up the ice, and I kind of looked over at Brian, and we both went, okay. There are programs designed to compete at the Olympic level, and they're a different style of program than Brian Orser and I are bringing to the table, which is one of the reasons why these competitions are kind of interesting, because you are blending 2 different thinking, 2 different training, 2 different styles of skating, and yeah, so I stepped on the ice and went, okay, I feel the tension.
Tension was definitely palpable in practice yesterday. And if it ever gets to Kurt, it gets to him in the short program. That's where he has his greatest difficulties. Here he is now, 4-time world champion, Kurt Browning of Canada. His music is Antares by the Tragically Hip.
Triple toe combination. You know, Kurt was saying that a couple years ago he was ready to meet Stojko. He didn't really feel he's ready now. Doesn't matter, you still got to lay down those elements. Great start for him.
He really has the footwork down. It's got to be very intense for him out there, knowing what has to come later with the jumps from the other men. Triple Salchow, perfect rotation.
Nice and easy. You have to take everything in this short program one thing at a time. As we've said, Peter, you can't win a competition with a short program, but you can certainly lose a competition. Now, that's not something you see from Kurt. You can't let up your concentration in this short program.
Boy, does he excel right here on this tough footwork. Look at the changes of direction, the quick turn. The judges will definitely appreciate that.
You know, the one thing that helps these professionals come into a competition like this is to continue doing the hard jumps, even when you're just in shows. You got to keep pushing yourselves at all times, and that would make this more comfortable.
his Canadian audience. Kurt Browning of Canada will have his scores when we come back. We welcome you back to the Canadian Open. The men's short program underway, and Kurt Browning waits for his scores.
Take a look at this incredible triple combination. There's the first. He has such good rotation and snap off the ice. Follows through with another good one. Look at that landing. Wasn't going to give up there.
He hung on to that one for sure, and yet here, a simple double axel for Kurt. He just started leaning in the air and had to do a funny little turn out of it. That's really unlike Kurt.
And then this is just so impressive. His footwork. What this shows is great agility in men's figure skating, to go in different directions quickly and then stay centered on the exact part of the blade that you need to keep fast movement across the ice. Outstanding.
And now the marks for Kurt Browning of Canada, the first set of marks for required elements.
5-4.
Peter, these marks range from 5.3 to 5.5.
A little bit of a problem on the double axle, but still, he's in there.
Terrific set of presentation marks, 5.8 across the board. Thank you. Kurt Browning said he wished he could have competed against Elvis a few years ago when he had his triple axel, when he could still land his quad. He said he was feeling a little bit naked in this competition because he knows Elvis has the triple axel and the quads. Elvis has left his longtime coach, Doug Lee. He's now with choreographer Ushi Kessler. Injuries all behind him. He's skating with a power like he hasn't had for years.
And Tracy, he has a triple axel and that quad planned right here in the short program.
Skating to music from Cirque du Soleil.
Certainly not afraid of the pressure, since he's really used to this environment. Skate Canada this year, Skate America. What a combination to warm up on. First, the triple axel, and then he'll follow through with the triple toe.
Unbelievable how he makes it look so easy.
The secret to his quad is to let it climb to the top and not think rotation so much. Let's see if he can do that. Here's the quad. No!
More powerful this year. The coverage he's getting on the ice, on this footwork, and even on the crossovers, amazing.
Last jump of the program, the double axel. Remember, he's going to take a hit on the fall for the quad. 4/10 there, so there's an open door for the rest of the men. You got to respect the power and speed, but in this short program, you can't ignore deductions, quad or triple, and he went down on the quad.
5-time Canadian champion, 3-time world champion, 2-time Olympic silver medalist, Elvis Stojko.
This triple axel just floated, and look at the speed he has going into it. But again, it is much more difficult than Kurt Browning's triple toe combination. Beautiful.
You're absolutely right, Roz. But then again, think of this. There's going to be a deduction on this quad. Can't take anything away for the athleticism, but down he goes. Rotation a problem there. So I don't think it's going to be that much of a runaway with Stojko. There's going to be some marks going to Browning, I think.
Well, let's see what the judges think. First set of marks now for Elvis Stojko for acquired elements.
Marks for required elements. 5.3.
These marks range, Peter, from 5.3 to 5.5.
Well, you can see it is pretty close.
Marks for presentation.
And now the marks for presentation. 5.6 to 5.8. And that has Kurt Browning in first place. A 3-2 split for Kurt Browning. We'll be back with more men from the Canadian Open after this.
Our next competitor representing Great Britain, Stephen Cousins.
He competed in his first World Championships back in 1990 in Canada, along with Todd Eldridge and Elvis Stojko. Here is the 8-time national champion of Great Britain, Stephen Cousins. He's skating to Cool Jazz by Clarence Brown.
He broke his ankle in May, and he said it's really affected his training. He's healthy now. He said if it shows up, it'll be here on the first combination triple axel. Almost.
You can see the abrupt reach down on the ice, the landing. Judges want a continuous edge.
Find yourself having to push to try things no matter what because of your other competitors. Everybody just keeps propelling each other.
Nice triple Lutz. What he did well on that is he kept his timing in place. The jumping mechanics were solid on the takeoff, allowing him a good landing.
You can see the difference. This footwork isn't quite as complicated as Elvis Stojko's.
Stephen lives and trains just north of here in Barrie, Ontario. His mom and dad, David and Val Cousins, have moved to Canada also to live with him and are here in the audience watching their son.
I'm so excited that he really went for that triple axel. He really stepped it up. He almost had it, just a little bit of a mistake. Really great program for him.
British champion, Stephen Cousins. And as you said, Roz, he just is coming back from an injury. He missed a total of 4 months of training. He's making a great comeback.
Todd Eldridge backstage. We'll see his performance next.
He really took his time on this triple axel. Got really nice height. Right at the end, he started to lean. Unfortunately, he had to put his hand down, and actually the deduction comes from turning out of it. He did complete the double toe, though. And here's a nice, easy double axel. He really covers across the ice.
The marks for Stephen Cousins for
And now the marks for Stephen Cousins for required elements, Roz, 5.0 to 5.2.
5-1, 5-1. The marks for presentation.
He couldn't afford that mistake on the triple axel. It's not just enough to try it.
Presentation marks go up 5.4 to 5.7. Puts Stephen in third place behind Kurt and Elvis. Todd Eldridge of the United States when we come back.
Ekaterina Gordieva headlines the cast for the Vail Figure Skating Festival coming to TBS on Monday, December 20th at 8:05 Eastern. And Christy Yamaguchi, along with Todd Eldridge, will wish you holiday cheer in an encore performance of Holiday Festival on Ice on Christmas Eve beginning at 10:20 p.m. Eastern, all on the Superstation.
On the ice now, 5-time U.S. champion. Won his world title in Edmonton in 1996. Here is Todd Eldridge. Skating to music from the soundtrack of Cabaret.
Now in this program, Todd has planned the triple axel, triple toe loop, and then the triple lutz. If he nails all of these difficult jumps, he could really find himself on top in the end.
And Peter, he's been really consistent this season, especially in the short program. It's one thing he's got down.
You're right. Oh, he is just bombing into this opening triple axel. Forward takeoff, 3.5 revolutions. Pitches forward. That's a problem.
He knew he
no
couldn't.
Combination.
He knew he couldn't do the triple toe, Peter, but he should have at least put the double toe at the end of that triple axel because he had enough speed for that. Now you got to wonder, is he going to turn this triple lutz into a combination jump? He has to get that combination.
But he can still change things around and do this in combination. That gets him back in again.
There
so
you go.
He's playing smart here.
That takes a real quick mind to pick that up and do that in the middle of the program.
That's where the experience comes in.
Todd has had a lot of success in these open-style competitions, recently winning the Masters and defeating the current world champion, Alexei Yagudin of Russia.
And this is what makes him great. Look at the spin. Nice low position, spinning in one spot fast. Good rotation there. More great spinning. Never loses the speed. Look at this. This is the last thing the judges see. Very impressive.
Elvis Stojko left the door open, and Todd Eldridge has just jumped through it.
So he wanted to do this triple axel in combination. Triple axel hand doesn't touch the ice, so they won't get him for a deduction there. Now, thinking on his feet, he knows I still have to do my combination. So how do I respond to that? Well, I put in a jump right after my triple Lutz. Very smart move by him. Therefore, he's right within the rules and regulations of the short program requirements. And then, again, I'm so impressed with the spinning that this man has. Always in one spot, nice low position, fast, never loses speed within the spin. And again, the judges really respect that.
Marks now for Todd Eldridge. Remember, Elvis Stojko had 5.3s to 5.7 for his required elements. These are higher, 5.6 to 5.7 for Todd Eldridge. Here now the presentation marks, and yes, 5.6s, 5.8s, and that's enough for first place for Todd Eldridge at this point in the competition. We'll be back with Brian Orser of Canada after this.
Our final competitor this afternoon, representing Canada, Brian Orser.
We're back at the Canadian Open. One man left to skate, and the tension must be almost unbearable for Brian Orser. He has not attempted a triple axel in competition since 1988. His other competitors standing at the boards giving him a high five. They're willing him on also. Brian skating to swing, swing, swing.
Well, he looked up at us, Tracy. We were the ones that gave him that thumbs up. We know he can do this. They've been so solid in practice. And that alone has just been so great for his confidence. He's in amazing, amazing shape right now.
He owned the triple axel for 10 years, from 1978 when he first did it all the way through to 88. Can he get this jump back in 1999?
Peter, he just has to rotate it and he'll be okay.
Oh, he goes for it, though. You got to give him credit for that.
Absolutely. Excitement. Nice triple sow. Coverage on this very intricate footwork.
So Brian Orser pulls the driver out of his bag and goes for it. He did not hold back at all.
An attempt like that earns him the respect of this audience and his peers. Now 37 and skating as elegantly as ever, Brian Orser.
How about this? 37 years old, and he totally goes for it. He could have just done a double, but he pulls it and tries for the triple, but down he goes.
He said last night, I just don't want to pop it. I don't want to get scared and turn it into a single, and he didn't. He just didn't finish the rotation. But hey, he relaxed. He came right back and fought for this nice triple Salchow.
Brian Orser waits for his marks now. First set of marks, these will be for required elements. And they range from 5.0 to 5.3.
And you know, Peter, he said that the judges have been coming up to him and saying, you're skating better than ever. They might not be reflected in these marks, but that's an amazing thing to hear.
They are reflected here, Rosalind. 5.6 all the way up to 5.8. Those marks good enough for 4th place for Brian Orser. Standings after the men's short program. It's Todd Eldridge of the United States in 1st place, followed by Canadians Kurt Browning, Elvis Stoico, and Brian Orser. In 5th place, Stephen Cousins of Great Britain. Now let's go backstage and join Dee Lynam.
Eldridge against the world, I kind of like that. This was a historic moment to have those 3 Canadians on the ice all together, but then you come in and do your thing. More pressure or less pressure, knowing what those 3 had to do?
It's always the same pressure, you know, regardless of, you know, having those 3 guys here. I expected all of them to skate great, and I didn't see them skate because I skated later. But no, it's just a great event, and to be in the same event with you know, 3 generations of great Canadian skaters, it's awesome.
I did notice that everyone looking and pulling for Brian Orser to land that triple axel, but didn't you feel that same thing back?
Oh, definitely. No, I stayed in the kiss and cry area and waited till he did it. But no, I mean, he's been doing some great ones in practice, and everybody, you know, is really pulling for him. And you know, I don't know if he's got it planned for the long program, but if he does, hopefully he'll do it there.
Good luck to yourself in the long interpretive free.
Thank you.
They were going for broke in Toronto tonight. We'll have a word with Elvis Stoico and Kurt Browning when we return. The old and the new have never failed to give it their best. Kurt Browning still has the arsenal of jumps. He doesn't have the quad anymore, but his heart remains as strong as ever. And Elvis Stoico remains the highest flyer of them all. Now, let's join Dee Lynam.
I'm with 2 pleased Canadians, I would say, in Kurt Browning and Elvis Stoico, but we
one lucky one. What? Are you pleased and proud? Like David?
Yeah, I am actually.
This was historical. We hyped it as an historical moment because not just you 2 and Brian Orser are all on the ice at the same time. But did you feel it to be a special moment?
Yeah, no, we had an interview yesterday. We had a great time sitting together talking. After I turned pro, Elvis and I hardly have even been in the same arena together, let alone got to visit. It's been a bit of a reunion, and I think it's been a long time coming. We enjoyed it.
How about for you, Elvis? Do you feel similar thoughts about that?
Yeah, actually, no. I hate every moment of it. No, I'm just kidding. No, it's been great. Like yesterday, like Kurt was saying, we had the interview yesterday, the 3 of us, and we were just laughing the whole time and thinking about the times we had before where Kurt's sort of been in between, connected to Brian and myself, and the 3 of us today. The missing link, yeah. But today, like I said to Brian, I said, it's an honor to skate with you because I've trained with him but not competed against him. And I just said, you know, the practice yesterday and today and competing with him is great. And then this guy here I haven't seen since '94 really on the same ice as competitive. So it's great. It's great to have that.
Can I ask you about the quad and the attempt and landing it not as well as you want?
I think he's bored with his quad, you know.
Well, it comes down to the quad. I mean, it's a tough jump to do, especially when you're trying to tie everything in together. But did in warm up all week. It's been great, and it just was. People don't realize that if you're slightly miscalculated, it goes off. And Kurt knows about that. He's done them. He knows what it's like. And like he said to me, he says, I can't believe you guys are doing quads in the short. And I'm just sitting there going, well, I can't believe that we're actually trying them. But it feels great because it's been real consistent. I haven't really missed many of them, and the warm-up was good. It's just slight miscalculation, but, you know, I got some competitions where it's going to really count at Worlds, so.
Very good. Good luck to both of you. And
I'm warm-up sparring partner for Worlds.
Yeah, that's good.
good luck later on.
Thanks very much.
Tonight began with Maya Usova and Yevgeny Platov seeking to repeat their Canadian Open title in ice dance. Their original dance was electric, but only good enough for second place. Crowd favorites Shailin Bourne and Victor Kratz are here to prove a point. They belong among the elite from around the world. They will attempt to remain in first when the free dance takes place tomorrow. Berezhnaya and Sikralidze didn't skate tonight as if they are in the midst of a down season. They put together a superb short program and have gained momentum as the interpretive free program approaches. The withdrawal of Nicole Bobek in this competition begs a larger question. Will she continue skating in the Olympic eligible ranks, or will she turn professional? Her American teammate Angela Nikodinov knows where she wants to be. In first place after the ladies' short program, a place Angela hasn't seen much of lately, but as she says, it's cool. Tomorrow night, we will see if Todd Eldridge can turn the mostly pro-Canadian crowd in Toronto to his side. Todd will lead the strong men's field into their free programs. So join us tomorrow night, beginning at 8 p.m. Eastern for the interpretive free programs. A trio of Canada's skating heroes will challenge Todd Eldridge for the top spot. For Dee Lynam, Roz Sumners, and Peter Carruthers, I'm Tracy Wilson. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you tomorrow night.